And welcome to Finally Seen. Today's guest is Roxy Saran, a woman's life coach with more than a decade of experience helping women regain stability and strength after the moments that shake their world. Roxy has coached thousands of women through seasons like a new baby, a job loss, a child leaving home, or the quiet unraveling inside a marriage. Her work focuses on restoring balance, building sustainable habits, and helping women feel rested, energized, and grounded again in natural ways. She brings practical tools, a calm presence, and a real understanding of how life transitions affect the body, mind, and identity. So, Roxy, I'm so excited to have you here. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Good, good. Well, this is going to be an interesting conversation because we've known each other for, gosh, I don't know, over a decade, I think.
Yes.
But we haven't gotten to engage as much as I know we probably both wanted because life's just insane.
Life. Yes, life.
And especially yours. I know you've had a crazy several last, I don't know, 5 years or so. So I'm excited to dive into this topic. And I know you're about to do a big rebrand. So I'm excited to see what that is. I said coach earlier and talking about women of all ages. Tell me how that shift went from oil lady to to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. That's a great question. So, initially, when I started coaching women, I was a stay at home mom. I have an MBA and was just looking for something to be able to fill some time and also income gap, right? Being able to work from home, but also with the babies, having a baby every other year, four of them was, no joke. And so, just looking to do that. And so, when network marketing and this essential oil business came in, it literally fell in my lap 13 years ago. It was a perfect fit for me. Loved natural methods, had natural births, that type of thing. And so loved it. And so it was perfect at that time. But I would have people come to me and they're like, how can you coach me if I don't want to sell the oils or if I don't want to use the oils, can you coach me? And I turned people away. Now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was probably crazy. But that was just the season that I was in, was just really focused in building that business. But then over time, as censorship started to happen and administration changes online, really what became muted and silenced to where I literally, my hands were tied, where I couldn't post things for sometimes 30, 60, 90 days, et cetera. And so really it forced me to pivot to be able to, okay, I'll play your game, remove everything online from anything that had to do with any type of claim of health, regardless if it was sunshine or drinking more water or grounding, literally anything. It was like, you can't post that. You violated community standards. You can't post that. And so I had to shift. And so I shift to branding and making myself a women's life coach and just be able to. So I got a certification in that and have the years of backing of coaching thousands of women worldwide over the last 13 years. But now just I think it loosens you up to be able to provide more than just that one narrow area of coaching to build a oil business or coaching using essential oils, which are all amazing and valid, but it opens you up to be able to serve more people.
That's awesome. I love that. And I love that you pivoted because that's what brilliant founders and CEOs and just amazing, successful people, that's what they do. They pivot. They don't just go,
Yeah.
oh, that didn't work. I guess I'll just give up. They
Well,
pivot.
pivot was definitely the name of the game. I even showed my kids because, of course, different generation, right? Showed them the Friends episode with the couch. They're like, pivot, pivot, trying to explain to them. And they were like, Mom, it's not that funny. I'm like, it is so
It is
funny. Like, what are you
funny. Yeah.
talking about? It's so funny. I just, that's what it was like. Like you're driving, you're supposed to drive a car, but your hands are tied behind your back and you're blindfolded, but you're like, go, grow, teach, grow. It's like, how can you do that within the parameters that you've been dealt, And
Yeah.
so we have to pivot as business owners because the environment's always changing, your audience is always growing and changing, trends are changing. And so
Well,
maybe the core of who you are doesn't necessarily, the essence of who you are doesn't necessarily change, but the color in which we color our voice and the dynamic online, I think shifts a little bit.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, myself included, which is, one reason why I always stress to people to make sure you understand your core values, because once you get your core values, everything else, if it changes, it'll still all go back to that and it's fine.
Exactly.
I still
Exactly.
have the essential oil book that I got from you all those years ago. I reference it still, even though I know there's Google, but I don't know. I like the book.
Of course, what's better than, yeah, because even Google, that's, been censored. If you try to
Really?
research, like just an example of like natural mosquito repellent, you'll have to go to page 4 or 5 to even barely find something. All the first pages are all like, this is so dangerous, you could die. So even that, I mean, you've got the best resource right there, other than me, is your book, is your book, because you can look that up. So yeah.
I absolutely love my oils. It's funny. A peppermint oil has been like kept coming in my head, and I'm like, why is this like coming in my head? And then so I looked it up, and that's now I get it. Okay, that's what I need right now is to be able to smell peppermint. And so yeah, I don't know. It was really weird because I like the taste of peppermint, but not like ooh, give me peppermint. So it was really interesting. But
Yeah.
when you're listening to your body will tell you what it needs. And so,
Absolutely. Yeah.
um, I don't know if you have seen, I don't post about it a ton, but, I have had some autoimmune issues post COVID and, even made an AARP magazine, like they even came and interviewed me about it. But,
Wow.
so I have 5 new food allergies that are like actual food allergies, like throat closing. Um, and I didn't have those before. And then they're suspecting it's mast cell activation syndrome. So for me, my nervous system is like key priority, 100%. If you're messing with my nervous system, get out of my bubble. So, but before we hopped on here, we were talking about young girls and teens, and I'm starting to see this trend with the nervous system. I think overall, our nervous systems are so dysregulated. Thankfully, I had a reason to start looking for it, but most people don't realize something's wrong because they don't have all the hives like I was doing, or anaphylactic shock, or, they're just going about their regular days, not realizing how dysregulated they are. Is that what you're
Yeah.
seeing?
Absolutely. And you make a valid point. Like by the time you got to that point, like that was serious, right? Like this is life threatening, like you could die, right? Like it's serious, serious. But a lot of times the initial signs are very subtle. And
Mm.
most people, especially young girls, are not really in tune with their body. I mean, I probably just now figured out my cycle and I'm probably about to be done, like we're just now like figuring out like, oh, when that happens, this is, oh, and the week before I turn into that, but the girls, they're just now starting to figure out their body, and I don't think they've had enough time or experience to notice the patterns yet. And so what happens is like it's kind of like a check engine light in your car. You only have one check engine light, and once it's on, there's not another check engine light. There's not like a flashing, it doesn't change colors. Like there's no gradient. And so what happens with initially is it can be racing heart, it can be sleep disturbances, it can just be subtle mood changes, which again, in that period of time for young girls, they're already having a cascade of hormones happening. And so some of those are a lot of moms, especially, they'll just attribute that to the hormonal changes where we're just living in a very different society than we were intentionally supposed to live in. So, like the prevalence of social media and having access to the phone and the blue light, and that disrupts our circadian rhythm, our sleep. And that, of course, they're falling asleep with their phone in their hand and waking up to immediately. And so, all of that we weren't intended to live like that. We were not intended to know all the bad things that are happening at all times in the entire world. Like, we're just not, we don't have the capacity for that. And it shows on our skin, it shows in the way we talk and rest and or act out. And so it's sad for me to see the girls where they are now, because I know they don't even know that they could be thriving and that they're not thriving. And it's sad.
Yeah, I love that you bring that point up that they don't know they're not thriving, and it's because they've been shown like this is as good as it gets. So just don't even
Yeah.
try. It's
Right.
normal.
It's
Um,
normal. Yeah.
I think our age we're starting to talk about the stuff our moms wouldn't talk about, and how
Mhm.
all the aches and pains and gaining weight. No, oh, it's just normal. It's just the way it is. It's like, is it? Like, Is it really? Because I know lots of older women who aren't actually overweight or,
Yeah,
uh, and I know everybody's body is different. But I'm just, my point in saying that is, why are we saying bad things are normal, or, things that aren't thriving are normal, when might not be normal for us at all?
exactly. And one of my mottos is, I see this a lot, is that just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. And I had a girlfriend of mine, she I think just turned 50, and she's wearing like this Home Depot belt at lunch. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I mean, she didn't say anything, but I'm like, what's going on with your back? Like, what and she's like, well, yeah, doctor said it was normal and my age. And I'm just like, uh, I'm gonna be the voice that's gonna tell you, like, we're normalizing the abnormality and it's wrong. Like, and so I told her, I was like, you don't work at Home Depot. You don't work at Home Depot. Let me help you. And she's no longer wearing a brace. Now, if you have to wear a brace, wear a brace. I'm just telling you, that's not normal. And there are things that you can do to not be in that situation. But your doctor telling you that at 50, it's not normal. No.
You're right. And yes, we want you to follow your doctor's advice,
Right.
obviously. But we want to also make sure that you're advocating for yourself and not just blindly accepting what a doctor tells you. One of our clients, Dr. Deborah Muth, she is one of those advocates. She was told, when she was, oh gosh, it's been a while now, but when she was younger, the doctors told her she had MS and that she should just prepare to be disabled in a few years.
Ah,
And she was really young at the time. So that kind of diagnosis would have been pretty heavy. And she thought in her gut, she's like, this doesn't feel right. I don't think that's what it is. She dove down. Turns out it was just Lyme disease, which I say just, but because she now has a thriving practice where she, treats thousands of women. And so it's like, you can push back on your doctors. You can
oh,
ask
for sure.
questions. And even myself with my own diagnosis, that's why I say we think it's this, because I've had a hard time getting doctors to fully take me seriously with it. They just want to throw more pills at me. And I'm like, I don't want to take more pills. How about we figure out what's happening, why this is causing it? Like, let's get down to the root. Um, so yeah, it's okay to change doctors. It's okay to explore
Okay.
your own paths and do
Yeah.
what's right for you. So yeah, and I know that this was like 5 years ago. I think you started with going gray, right? You stopped dyeing
Yes.
your hair,
You're right. Yeah. It was like 2019 ish. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to let it go.
and it looks
Yeah.
fantastic on you. Like
Thank
you got
you.
blessed with the pretty gray.
Well, a lot of people say that it did not feel pretty as it was growing out. That is for sure. I had the balayage before, the long hair with the tips, and I mean, it was gorgeous. But the upkeep on it, as you know, is crazy. My hair grows super fast, and I was doing the roots like every 3 weeks, and I just
Oh
got to a
wow!
point where I was like, I am not doing this anymore. And then the crazy thing is, when you're coloring it every 3 weeks, you're like, my hair grows so fast. And then when you want it to grow out, you're like, grow already. And I mean, I think if you have people in your audience that are looking to grow out their gray, I wish I had never colored my hair personally. I wish I had just embraced the color that I had, because the grow out was horrible. It was months 3 and 5 are the worst, the absolute worst, because you just look so frumpy and like you've let yourself go. And but anyway, I'm so glad I did it. I get stopped all the time, even going to the grocery store. These young girls, half my age, come and they're like, who does your highlights? Like, I love the gray. I'm like,
Oh my God,
God, let me tell you about God. And they're like, really? It's natural? I'm like, yes.
that's
So
amazing. Yeah, I mean, your skin is always glowing, and
thank
anytime you
you.
post on socials, I'm like, golly, she's gorgeous. And
You're so sweet. Thank
I
you.
and I know that you don't do all the Botox and all that stuff, and so it's like
None.
possible.
No, yeah, none, none. And you know what? I've always been of the mindset of like less is more. My husband, he told me even on our wedding day, because I hired like a makeup artist, he was like, I want to see you up there. I don't want to see somebody else. Like, I don't want to like have to like drill down under layers to see you. Like, I want to see you. up there, on our wedding day. And so that's just always been my motto, is like, just enhance what you've already been given. Take care of yourself, of course. You want to always do that, but there's a health that comes from the inside out that radiates through. And you can put on all the makeup in the world, but if you don't have peace and joy in your heart, you're and peace with yourself and peace with God, like, that's going to come out. And um, unfortunately, and it's sad, I see it now. Like, I can see it on women's faces, and I can see it in their eyes, and I know there's more for them and better for them, but they're trapped in this cycle of where they're at. But a lot of people come to me like, tell me what you do for your skin. And I'm like, oh, it's multifaceted, but there are definitely things you can do.
You're like, it's kind of an inside job.
You start from the inside out, is what I think. It starts from the inside out.
Yeah, 100%. You know, ever since this diagnosis happened, or trying to get diagnosis, whatever, I've dove even more into like the mitochondria and, how we work with the planet. And that's one of the things that got me interested in quantum science as well, is really figuring out this incredible thing that God designed between us and the planets and just even animals. Like, the intricacy of everything is just insane.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. What is maybe the most common theme that you see when women come to you?
Yeah, I think one of the most common things that I'm seeing right now, for all, like you said, all teens, young women, older women, all of it, is the depression and the anxiety. And a lot of people think those are two separate things, but it really is the same coin. It's the two sides of the same coin. And yeah, the first thing I ask them when they're like, I'm a little bit, down and whatever, I've tried some different things and they're not seeing the results. I ask them, how much sunshine are you getting every day? And you'll be surprised when people tell me zero, none,
Whoa.
none. And I'm like, okay, listen, like, I just repeat back to them, you're a human being, like a living human being, and you have zero outside, sunshine. And we were never created, and you can take all the supplements that you want in the world, it's not enough. Your body needs the sun. And I mean, you mentioned the mitochondria, that is the powerhouse of our cells. And that's where you need sunshine, like you need your vitamin D. And so most people, most women are deficient in vitamin D and can use the supplement, but you need sunshine. And so I just have them do 10 minutes of the morning sunrise and 10 minutes of the morning sunset to reset their circadian rhythm and the grounding with their on the feet on the ground, and let your eyes see the sunshine. And I love like habit stacking and doing multiple things at once. And so I love to, read outside, or so that way, like, I feel like I'm not wasting time. I'm like, I'm outside, I'm seeing the sunshine, I'm doing the feet. I'm like, I feel like I'm maximizing my time and not being, wasteful. Yeah.
That's funny. I'm definitely a stacker as well. At night, I will. We have the structured water device, so I'll structure our water at night while I'm standing on my grounding mat, and it's like multiple things at once. And
Yes.
yeah, I
Yes.
love it. What is your favorite oil? If you had to just use one
Mhm.
oil, what would that be?
Oh gosh, that is really hard because I think it goes through cycles. Like, what's my favorite right now?
Mm,
Maybe so I don't discriminate against the oils. Right now, I'm diffusing Holiday Joy just because it's the holidays, and I
yeah.
love that in my diffuser. And so I'm diffusing Holiday Joy. But I think my favorite is a newer blend that's called Adaptive, and it's for like PTSD, stress, and anxiety. And I love that one. I keep it in my purse with me, and it's just very calming and grounding, but also helps with focus, like that jittery feeling that maybe people have. And so it's just, it's like a breath of fresh air. And I love that oil. I just don't think you can go wrong with that oil. Like, it's a soft scent to where it's not overpowering in any way. So I
You
love
know,
that one.
I you said that you like keep it in your purse, and I keep some at my desk as well. And I'm glad you said that about the holiday blend, because I was thinking, I bet I have some in the cabinet from last year that I need to bring out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's any good or if I used it all, but anyway. And before our call, I was talking about how I'm really drawn to peppermint right now, which I know is popular around the holidays, but normally I could give or take. I'm okay with
Hmm.
peppermint. But I guess there is an actual scientific reason behind smells and how it affects our moods.
Yeah.
Can you explain any of that?
Yeah, for sure. That's such a good question because a lot of times people are like, "That's so hokey. How could it even affect me?"
It's
Like
where
yeah, it's voodoo, or what do they say? Oh, it's placebo. It's just placebo, and I'm like, okay, maybe, let's say maybe it is. But
who
if you
cares?
when you go to the dentist, the first thing they do if you're going to have some work done is they put the mask right, and that works for pain. And so it's like, well, then there must be a mechanism, which there is, that works. And so when you breathe something in, it immediately impacts your olfactory bulb. And so because our olfactory bulb is controlled by our limbic system, that controls all of our emotions. And so especially when you're having something for emotions like stress, anxiety, moods, any of the brain stuff, it immediately goes into your brain. When you breathe it in, it's immediately impacting. And I'm sure people have had this experience before where you smell something and it immediately triggers a memory for you. You're like, oh, I was on my honeymoon, or I was with this, or maybe even a negative connotation where you're like, oh, I remember that. And it triggers something in you, positive or negative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you say that, and because of all the research I've done, I knew yesterday was a really hard day for our family, and I specifically did not wear any perfume or any scent at all because I did not want that negative association. And
Yeah.
it's like such a
Right.
tiny detail that when it does trigger us, it's like, whoa, it's power. So yeah,
Yeah.
I specifically did not wear any scent so that
That was smart. So
so,
you
I
don't want
wish
to
I had learned
remember.
all this stuff before, way long
Right?
ago. Um,
Exactly.
so I'm glad that you're helping young ladies with getting all this knowledge before. It's so funny because we have all this information at our fingertips, yet they don't feel like they can find this information. Like when you say things to them, they're like mind blown. They've never heard this before, even though we're inundated. But you said earlier before we got on the call, or maybe it was during the call, knowing all the bad news all the time. It's like that's what they see. And instead of,
Yeah.
oh, hey, you can do this to feel better, like, oh, go outside first thing in the morning instead of hopping on your cell
Phone.
phone. Like,
Right.
oh, that actually makes a big difference.
It does. Yeah.
And I know that because I know you've got a strong faith, and I know a lot of these things that we're talking about, people do say are woo or placebo effect or any of that hokey crap, as they say. And I remember even when I started using oils a long time ago, people are, oh gosh, she's gonna turn into one of those ladies. Like, well, not one of those ladies, but I am gonna be the better version of myself. So cool. Um, what do you say to people who are like, this is just woo, hokey?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I've heard, I mean, in 13 years I've heard it all, right? But I think the times have changed now more than before. Like there's so much research now in essential oils. You can go to pubmed.gov, PUBMED, pubmed.gov, a reputable site, double blinded placebo studies. I mean, so much research out there now that you can look, and like even the lavender that I sell is pharma grade, meaning that every batch, every time you're going to get the same results in a clinical setting. And so that's amazing. Strides have come over about the last 10, 12, 13 years. And so there is research on essential oils. You can look up any health concern and any oil, and you can find the research on it. But as a person who earns a commission from the sale of those products, I'm not allowed to link those online. So, just an example. So, like you say, the information is out there. It is, but you literally have to go digging for it. Like it's not easy to find the information. And so, like there's studies on lemongrass and cholesterol, but I can't even linking the article and just posting the article, not saying anything. I'm making a claim, and so I'm not allowed to do that. And it's like unfortunate because people are desperate for the information, and it's there. There's science available, and they can't find it. And so it's a challenge. It's a big challenge. But the other side of it is my personal experience is that when people tell me I think it's placebo, when my child had a fever and I put oils on their spine in the middle of the night, they were not awake. They didn't know anything about it, right? And 15 minutes later their fever dropped. How like, how can that be a placebo? Because I've seen it with my own eyes. And so it's fine. To me, it's like allowing people their opinion. Like, you can have your opinion. It doesn't change my opinion or the facts that I know. So I just hold space for people, and I think that's why I have been very successful in the oil business that I was doing for so many years. Is that you can have your opinion. I just say, would you be open to trying something? And some of them are, and some of them just aren't. And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, then they're not open. And that's their prerogative. And they'll know where I am when they're ready, if they ever are ready.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with that. I can't help it. Like, you have to want to help yourself. And I'm sure you've seen that in your line of work as well. Like, I can only match what you're doing. I can't do more for you than you're willing to do for yourself. That's not going to be a dysfunctional
Yeah.
relationship. So,
Well, and I mean,
well,
that right there is just quantum science. It's just, the law of, I mean, essentially it's about balance, it's about you help me help you. Like, I can't
yes.
do it for you. Um, and let's see, I know you said earlier too that you're shifting into a new rebrand. Tell me about the rebrand.
Yeah. So the rebrand is just Roxy Saran. There's nothing else, like no other taglines or whatever. It's just who I am, right? Roxy Saran is what you get. What you see is what you get. Like, there's no secret behind the scenes or anything. Like, this is just I wear my heart on my sleeve. And if I'm joyful or if I'm excited, you're going to see it on my face. And if I'm hurting or if I'm struggling, you're going to know. Or if I'm upset with you, you're going to know, because that's just who I am. This is it. I don't have any other person. Like, this is this is what you get. And so the rebrand is Roxy Saran, and it is coaching of women in all ages and all stages. And it has lit my fire just getting excited about that, because um I don't know, the more I was trying to narrow, all the experts online are like, you need a niche, you need to narrow down, you need to, like, that. I understand the concept behind that, but that might not be right for everybody.
Well, and I'll speak on that because I hear that too. And while it it does have its place, I say it's a timing thing because sometimes you don't know what your niche is yet. And you have to kind of dabble in a bunch of places to find that. Like, if you would have asked me 18 years ago if authors was going to be my niche, I would have said, I don't know, maybe that could be. But over the years, doing so many other things, it has just clearly risen to the surface that no, this is the lane you should stay in, which we do for the most part. But I also know that we do change the more we learn, the different people we become. So I don't automatically say no to things that aren't quote unquote in our niche, you know. So I'm always kind of like, I'll explore the opportunity, sure, and then I'll just go with my instincts because now that I've got a really strong relationship with God, my gut tells me pretty easily what He wants me to do,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's quite literally my gut, or sometimes I feel it here. But I've learned to figure out in my body how to answer something.
Yeah, for sure. That's good that you're
um,
listening. It's not
yeah,
easy
well,
to listen, because in our busy world. It's like tuning into the right radio station. I mean, he's always there and he's always speaking, but if we're not tuned in, we miss it and we're busy. If we always have input, whether it's a podcast and I'm for podcasts, I'm for audiobooks, I'm for all those things, but there has to be a time where we're quiet
yeah,
and listening, because otherwise how can you receive if and then I hear this to teens and moms, and they're like, God doesn't talk to me. He is probably talking to you, but you're not tuned in to be able to hear it in the noise.
yeah, 100%. I mean, didn't have a meditation practice until 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I had tried before, but just I couldn't get it down. So I kept thinking I was doing it wrong. And the more I studied it, it's like, no, it's just really just be quiet. You're not doing
Yeah.
it wrong. Just be quiet and what needs to happen will happen, whether that's a thought
Yes.
that comes in and you need to go, ooh, interesting. Okay. Or you solve an idea. I mean, usually that happens with me is if I'm stuck on an idea, I just stay still and be quiet for about 3 minutes. It'll come to me.
Yeah, that's the key though, is being quiet and still and learning to like almost like close the tabs of those thoughts that come and learning to discern like was that my thought or was that an enemy thought or was that a thought from God? And for me, learning to discern, okay, well, it wasn't from me because it's from left field. I know it wasn't from me. That those are kind of easy to know. And then the other two are like, was it from the enemy or was it from God? The thoughts from the Lord are always going to point us back to Scripture. They're always going to be in line with His character and His goodness and who He is. And so, if it doesn't align to me, that's like my plumb line or my check. Is like if it's any way contradicting what His word or character is, then that wasn't from Him, and then I need to dismiss that one too. You know?
I like that. Yeah. And you're right. Everybody has to figure out their way of discerning the inner thoughts because we are bombarded all the time with thoughts.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody recently posted, and I thought it was really interesting. They were talking about how we are so hard on our bodies and the way we look and things like that. And the person said they think it's because bodies are the one thing Satan never had. And so he wants to attack the one thing that we have that he never had. And
Oh, I love that.
was like, ooh, that's an interesting thought because we are
Yeah.
really hard on our bodies, especially, and I've caught myself even when the girls were teenagers saying, oh my God, I feel so fat today. And like, I clearly wasn't fat. Why would I say that? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, what advice do you have for moms when it comes to dealing with their teens and self-talk and things like that?
Tired of overpriced energy drinks full of junk? Same. That's why I use Babello, a self-carbonating hydration packet that gives you clean energy, electrolytes, and vitamins without the crash. Just add water, shake, and sip. It's way more affordable than typical energy drinks and way better for you. Use code ChrissyBernal15 at checkout to get 15% off at drinkbabello.com. Hydration just got an upgrade.
Yeah. Man, one you already just touched on it was modeling. Are we modeling? What are we modeling for our kids, for our girls, especially like positive self-talk, just being in our body and not like always wanting something in the future. It's like that's another thing that we need to be able to show. I think it's such a trap that we're always looking for the next thing or like, well, when this next thing happens or whatever, and we miss the today. And so being able to show that for our girls. Yeah, being confident, modeling like good habits, right? Are we prioritizing our rest? Are we prioritizing the way, taking care of ourselves to the best of our abilities? Like, I mean, I think we could all eat the same exact things and do the same exact workouts, and we still wouldn't all look the same because we were not created to all look the same. So there's going to be different body types and styles and skin tones and all of those things. But that's the variety is what makes life beautiful. And I know for me, we all get in our head about our own bodies and being critical, but it's important to take those thoughts captive because when we were created for beauty and for good. And in the Bible it says that God said it was good. And then when He created man, He said it was very good. And so, like, we need to go back to the basics and be grateful for the things that we have for our body that can do these amazing things because at one point I may not be able to do those things and then we take it for granted that yeah. So being
Yeah.
grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, gratitude for sure. I mean, that's one of the ways I start my day every single day is with gratitude. And I even try and find gratitude with the smallest things, like grateful that I still have long, beautiful hair. Because I know that some women can't grow it that long. And so I don't take it for granted. It's like so many things, even just, oh, I was able to buy this good makeup, or whatever. It's like, have the Sonicare toothbrush. That's one of my things that I'm so thankful for, just because I mine broke or something, and I needed to go get another one. I didn't, so I just used a manual for a few days. I was like,
Not the
no,
same.
no. And so when I got it, when I finally went down to Costco and got it, I was like, oh yes, thank you. Like,
I'm girl, I'm the same. I did like an overnight trip and I was like, I'm not gonna pack that whole thing. And I just took the a travel one and I was like, what in the world? I felt very off my game because I was like, my teeth don't feel like the right way.
yeah, and it
So
really affects you too. And I see why that situation happened where I didn't have it for a few days.
mm,
Um, I see what the purpose of that was because it made me really have empathy for people who don't get to brush their teeth really well. And I thought, okay, putting a pin in that because clearly I'm supposed to make an impact in that area in the future. So, all right, noted, it's really interesting. What's something else that is your go to like every day, this part of your care?
okay, so first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, I drink my collagen. So the collagen that I sell is already broken down into peptides that have a specific name. So when you take them, they're already broken down into tripeptides. So like some are for your skin, some are for your brain, some are for your joints. And so you're going to get the immediate benefit in that area because they're targeted versus like a lot of people tell me I take a collagen, but they're taking it from wherever and they're long chain peptides. And so what happens is your body has to discern, okay, I can break it down and use it for whatever. But if your body decides that it needs more cell protection or whatever that day, you might be taking it for hair or nails or your joint pain or whatever, but it's not going to that area. And so that's the difference is that yeah, the immediate. And so I love my collagen first thing in the morning. Um, my quiet time is so important to me every morning, reading my Bible, praying, meditating, just being still, even if it's 20 minutes, just literally being still before I pour out and before I give. And then working out every day and whatever capacity that is, moving my body. I just feel so good for mental health as well. I mean, yeah, it's a game changer and they're non-negotiables. Like if I miss, I don't know why, but I'm off my game and I'm like grumpy and I'm like, what? Oh, I missed one of those. And I'm like, I gotta make it right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
100% I can get with those because like all last year I wasn't really able to work out much because of I would have flare-ups from it, literally like anaphylactic reactions to working out.
Oh my gosh.
And so I couldn't even really work out. I would do as much as I could. And then I shifted to somatic yoga, which was a nice
Okay.
bridge. But yeah, it just the mental health aspect, you just feel so ugh when you don't get to do it.
Yes.
And so again,
Yes.
I don't take that for granted.
Yes. So important. Oh man, for sure.
So you mentioned peptides. Let's talk a little bit more about that because I see that all over the place. And of course, collagen has been talked about for a long time, but specifically peptides keep coming up. And I've taken probably 5 different types of collagen in the past. And like what you were mentioning, I think because I was dealing with some other health issues, it was trying to help that instead of making my nails stronger or whatever. So talk more about peptides, please.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think they're amazing. It's something that our body already produces, so it's not something foreign. Whereas you're taking a synthetic, your body has to decide what it needs to do with it, has to transform it. Like sometimes the way we explain synthetic is like it's a mirror of a natural compound. And so a synthetic, sometimes it might unlock the key and work in your body, and sometimes it might not. And so when you're dealing with a natural product, a natural compound like these peptides, your body knows exactly what to do with them. It doesn't have to put forth much effort, and you're going to see the results. And like you, I was taking a very expensive other collagen before this collagen, and I thought it was it was like over $200 a month in collagen in these little bottles, and they were already liquid. So this one is a powder that you mix yourself. So you're the one activating it immediately and you drink it immediately. And I noticed even with taking the previous collagen within 3 days, especially like our skin, like right here, especially for women, like when you're doing your little concealer under here, you can feel that little tender skin in that area. And so the third day applying my makeup, I could tell a difference within 3 days just applying my makeup. I knew that it was an amazing product and it was working so much better than even the previous one that I was on. And so I was like, okay, there's something to this, like this product works. So I think a lot of people would benefit from that, especially women. As we age over the age of 30, our collagen production starts to go down. And so you're using a natural product that your body can recognize and have the powerful results very, very quickly. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And, you bring up a good point with the natural versus synthetic. And I was blessed years ago, this is probably 6 years ago, to be able to work on marketing for a natural bioavailable supplement company. And so it's where I still get my multivitamins from, because I know it's a company out of San Antonio. I know they're bioavailable. I've seen all the research behind them. But until then, I didn't really realize that the vitamin B you're getting from Walgreens is really, like, I knew it wasn't high quality, but I didn't realize that it was actually making my body work more to actually do something with it than a bioavailable one. So I'm glad you bring that point up. It's so important.
Yeah.
And so you said it's just a packet that you take in the mornings?
Yep, you mix it with a little bit of water. So it's freeze dried. So it's not active until you activate it. And so you just emulsify it with a little bit of water and drink it right away. It's not like let it sit there for an hour. It's not one of those. You activate it and you drink it. And it's very powerful, right away absorbed into your body. And I give it 3 days and you're gonna see and feel a difference.
That's interesting. Yeah, recently I had a little packet from a different company of collagen that came in a kind of swag bag, but it was only one serving. And I was like, well, I know I'm not going to see anything from just one. So I was like, man, but so that's good that you said give it 3 days.
I would, 99% of people that I've worked with in 3 days. So literally three samples, you're going to see or feel a difference.
That's awesome. Well, I know, like, when I take my vitamin B from this company, because it's bioavailable, it's so funny how much I feel it. And my team will be able to tell, they'll kind of say, I'm like, yes, I took my vitamin B just a little bit ago.
Yes. Get that energy boosted.
Yep, exactly. Because I can sometimes drink coffee, usually only cold coffee. But I can't really drink that much coffee anymore. So I had to find something else that could help wake me up. But well, is there something that we didn't cover that you were like, I really hope we can cover this during our conversation?
I mean, no, I think you did a great job asking the right question, asking questions and having a great conversation. It's always my pleasure to connect with you. I love serving women. I love being able to walk alongside women in whatever journey they may find themselves. And I know sometimes we hear life coaching or whatever, we think that might be something very fluffy, or what could that how could that possibly help me, especially if they've never had a life coach. And it's just someone who can help see the blind spots that maybe you're missing. We look at what I call sitting on the couch together and looking at your thoughts on the screen, which may be terrifying. But we'll just pick one and say, hey, let's unpeel that one and let's go down that path and explore. That you might be one thought away from a different life, or unlocking a different level of where you're at and what you're called to do. And so, or what might be holding them back. And then the beauty of coaching people over time, I've coached some of my clients for 2 years weekly. You start to see patterns of things that they don't see. They literally don't see them. And to be able to say, you know what, how, would it be okay to ask, how is this maybe impacting you again? As you think you've solved something and then it comes back up in a different flavor, later. And so it's just my honor and joy to be able to walk alongside women and just hold space for them in whatever season they're at.
I love that. And, when you use the term holding space, I can tell that is an actual, like, coaching terminology for legit coaches. I've been blessed to have many highly certified coaches in our client base and in my circles. And I recently actually just took my first jump into the coactive coaching side of things, which was intense. But even in our training, I got so much coaching out of it myself, and it's just mind blowing. But it's when, you said holding space. And the second you said that, I was like, Oh yeah, she's got like legit cred here. Explain what that means, because I know I've said that in the past, and people are like, no clue what you're talking about.
No clue. Yeah. And actually, when I first started coaching, I didn't know what it meant. I was like, what? Tell me what that means. And it is one of those terms that's like, just explain it to me, right? So holding space for someone is allowing them to feel their feelings without judgment. So many times, especially as women, we judge ourselves. Well, I should XYZ, or I shouldn't. I shouldn't feel that way, or I should be doing that, or I shouldn't be doing that, or I shouldn't feel like that, or and we get all in our mind about it when you're not even allowing yourself to have your own thought about something or feeling about something because you're already prejudging it. And so being able to have that space, like literally a safe place, these women that I coach, like everything that you say is completely 100% confidential. There's no recording of anything whatsoever. I'm not telling my stuff. I'm not telling anyone. When I speak to my clients, they're in my in ears. No one is hearing their little safe split space to say whatever they want to say. And I have them, especially over time as they build rapport with me, they're like, I've never told anyone ever this. And it's like you're carrying this backpack with these heavy rocks around and you don't even realize it, but it does impact you. You're sleeping with the backpack of rocks with you everywhere you go, like you're dragging it. And so at some point you need to empty. And it's allowing people to empty their backpack without any judgment at all whatsoever. And it's freeing. It's liberating.
Yeah, it is 100%. And also being able to hold space for people is also freeing, because it removes, for me anyway, I can remove myself kind of from it. So whatever, like, let's say they even said something mean to me, I can 100% know that it's truly not about me. And I can just hold space for them to do whatever they need to do to get that emotion out, and
Yeah.
not physically harm me, obviously.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, so I love that. And you've got, I know by the time this comes out, your big reveal of the new brand will have come out. I guess, what are ways that people can reach out to you and work with you, or how can they work with you?
Yeah, thank you so much. So roxysaran.com is the website. We have some free downloads on there that they're welcome to get. Instagram is kind of my playhouse where I like to hang out, but I'm on all the social media, TikTok, Twitter, or X, I guess it's now X, Facebook, whatever platform on social media. They're more than welcome to send me a DM and start a conversation. What coaching might look like for them. We have different packages available, whether it's a one-time half-day VIP day. They just want to get a crash course of like SOS help me for the new year. I do weekly calls for my VIP clients. I do group coaching. So whatever works best for their time and their budget and what their goals are. Different packages available. So I am open for new clients right now. And so I would be more than happy to have that conversation with them to see if it's a good fit, and explore and see what might be best for them.
That's awesome. Yeah. I can't tell you how much even just one coaching session
Yes.
can unlock so much.
Yes.
And so, if anybody's out there and they're like, I don't know about this, just try one.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And I don't do a free coaching call just because it's not going to benefit them if they do it that way, because we don't, you know how it is, like you value what you pay for. And so I will have a 30-minute discovery call with people, but if they want a coaching call, you're going to pay for 1 hour coaching call. But you will have a transformation, like 100% you'll have a transformation in that 1 hour when you pay for it. But isn't that interesting how I've just learned this over the last 13 years coaching women? Like you just value what you pay for and you don't value what you don't pay for. So it's a gift though. It's the gift that I give women, is telling you like, I'm going to honor you and the result that you're going to have by charging you for the fee. And it works.
Yeah, it does. We've switched our model as well, and we'll do a quick, like you say, discovery call. I call them fit checks, just to see, are we a good fit at all?
Yeah.
And then we always start with a 2-hour deep dive. Like that's it. I don't even offer any packages, because I want to see how we're going to be to work together.
Mm-hmm.
They get something very valuable. and they also pay for our time. And so it's worked out so beautifully this year. So yeah, I totally get it. We need to be able to pay. It's called the law of reciprocity. So like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So that's my subliminal message to women who are either over giving too many free things, like I was guilty of. You think you're doing a good thing, but in reality, you're not. There are times and places to volunteer, and it's like those are different situations. And I'll wrap it up with, you said something too earlier. It made me think of this one client that we had, and they kept saying this, that their thing was expensive. And I said, I would like to push back on you. I keep hearing you say it's expensive, but really your prices are right in line with everything else. And the value that you offer is worth even more than what you're charging. And they didn't even realize that they had been subliminally, downplaying and blocking essentially everything by calling their thing expensive. Yes. So it's just being able to pick up on those things that we don't see. Not a judgment. I mean, that's all. That's just how we are as humans. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. No, we have a tendency, I think, of undervaluing the value of what we offer into the world. And the more free things, because I've done it, I've been guilty of that. My friend as well, just offering so much free freebies and content and everything out there. But it's like having a free anything. You realize you don't use it, whatever it is. It's like because it's free. But as soon as you attach a monetary value to it, immediately, like it moves up in the importance level and the priority in which you take, because you're like, okay, I paid for it, so I need to. You show up differently when you put forth. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you're not talking about like the free content and resources and things like that. 'Cause we do want to provide some value to those who can't work with us yet, but want to, but maybe aren't there yet. There's a way to balance it all. And if you pay attention to your intuition and where you're feeling led, you'll know when it's time to give and when it's time to not. So thank you so much for hopping on here today with me. And I'm so happy we got to have the conversation, and I'll be sure to share everything in the show notes as well. And I hope people will reach out to you.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. I always appreciate your time and connecting with you and your audience. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.